Love, light, and blessings. Shamanic Awak Priestess here, and welcome to today's video. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, I wanted to do this video. It's a video called, it's about harnessing the power of crystals, okay? As I was saying on my previous video, I do a lot of different type of spiritual practices. And something that has been part of my spiritual practice, specifically more when I became a professional reader, I really started working with crystals. I was inspired to work with crystals and discovered the magic, like the real power of crystals through another reader when I worked on the psychic hotline. And I was working on the psychic hotline. They were like, hey, you should definitely use either tourmaline or hematite. Will be a really good crystal to use for protection as a psychic reader, and wear it around your person for spiritual protection when you're reading other people. So I started to literally research crystals, watch content on crystal healers, and so many things like that, working with crystal skulls and all of these things, that I became very well versed in the practice of working with crystal magic, as well as using crystal for meditation, affirmations, and energetic and spiritual healings, okay? Crystals have been used throughout various cultures. They have existed for a long time. You have some indigenous tribes of both African and native indigenous ancestry that have used them, and even pagans and things of that nature. So they do have a long history. Crystals are even mentioned in the Christian Bible. So various different spiritual practices have used crystals throughout history. They are natural. Most of them are natural. Some of them are man-made, but most of them are natural, and they come from earth. Okay, I generally believe that crystals are not just beautiful, but they actually house spiritual energies, different elemental spirits that live within the crystals. And I feel like a lot of people show crystals online and shopping hauls and all of these things, which are fine and great. But rarely do you get an explanation of how to use your crystals. If you're interested in going into a very deep dive into crystal and using crystals in your practices outside of this video, a good source for that is my channel, where I do book reviews, and I do have covered book reviews on crystals, as well as I have a specific series dedicated on my memberships that's dedicated to crystals, which I'm going to be actually performing a ritual on my memberships using the crystals that I'm going to show you. But I wanted to talk in this video about working with crystals, different ways you can work with crystals, and explain why I purchased these crystals. Why did I buy them? I didn't buy them because they were just pretty. They all have a reason why they were calling to me in the magic shop that I went to. I went to a local store in my mall. It's not really a botanica. It's like a spiritual boutique kind of store. More eclectic, new agey type of store. I still do shop there because I do like new age stores too. And so I got crystals. They were on sale. So I was like, hey, let's support our local businesses, right? And what I usually do is I'll put crystals in the palm of my hand, right? And then I'll see if they vibrate in my hand, if I feel a connection. Sometimes like my third eye will feel like it vibrates, or I'll feel like some kind of energetic shift in my body, or in my spirit body, or I'll feel like a pulsating sensation in the palm of my hand, maybe a warm sensation, or vibrating. Okay, that's a crystal letting you know, speaking to you, letting you know that they want to work with you, because again, I really do believe that there are spiritual entities that are housed within the crystals. Okay, so first things first, I feel like there's no better way to buy crystals than if you can find a magic shop, especially because you can ask them if the crystals are ethically sourced, how this person got the crystals, and things of that nature, because there are crystals, and I made a video about that on my memberships. A lot of crystals are unethically sourced, especially if we're looking at certain like fast fashion type of places. A lot of them are fake, or they involve child labor and like over mining, and that can have a negative impact on the environment. So I do try to buy local crystals and make sure that they're ethically sourced and all of these things. So, and you are allowed to ask that too, by the way. So the first crystal I want to talk about, okay, is literally this newly discovered crystal. It's a Dalmatian crystal. Okay, and it was calling to me. It's a good crystal for like the lower chakras. So I am going to be creating a crystal grid, and this is to balance like light and shadow, negative and positive emotions, and creating a balance, because I do believe that, you know, I do work with colors, and I feel like you should never walk too much spiritually in darkness, but neither too much in the light. It's nice to be in that middle path, right? Where light and shadow is in perfect harmony and balance, right? So this is to kind of balance that energy, right? The yin and the yang, the light and the darkness, the shadow and the light. So keeping me well balanced, grounded, okay, in the physical and spiritual realm, helping me to really tune into my gut intuition, giving me a sense of security, knowing that I can literally provide, and I will be provided all the things that I need, okay? And also a balance of emotions, okay? So definitely this is going to be something that's going to activate my root chakra, my sacral chakra, and my solar plexus, okay? So that's why that was bought. I bought this serpentine. It's a green crystal, but it might not come off green on here because sometimes the lighting and everything. And serpentine is good for transitions, okay? Think of like a snake skin. It looks like snake skin. And it's good for like different shifts and transitions. And that's kind of what I'm going to be working on. That's the intentions that I'm going to be setting when working with this crystal and setting up these crystal grids, okay? So this is definitely going to be dedicated to that heart chakra, right? Helping me to let go of what no longer serves me, emotions that are toxic for my well-being, and opening myself up to the feelings that are going to create the life that I want, okay? The sunstone was also purchased for financial needs, creativity, and bringing in that fire element. I like working with sunstone because a lot of times citrines, because they're rare, or a lot of times they're not real citrines. It's really hard to get a real citrine. A lot of times citrines are genetically modified in a lab, and I just don't like to use those types of crystals. I like to use as natural crystals as I can get. So yes. Okay. And then hematite for psychic protections, the third eye, crown chakra. It's also good for grounding and attraction. So I'm going to be activating this to attract the things I want, and then using this to burn away and release the things that I no longer want. So they work well together. Okay, if I was just working with these two, I would put a clear quartz. Clear quartz likes to amplify whatever your intentions are. So I always have some kind of clear quartz on my grids, okay? White crystals, selenite, clear quartz are amplifiers, especially when it comes to darker crystals that can sometimes overshadow or deplete the energy of the surrounding crystals. There is a science to, there is a system to crystal gridding, okay? And I'm going to be talking a lot more about that on memberships, okay? And then sodalite. Sodalite's good for communications, okay? I want to be able to have even more amplified communications, because I've been talking about how the spirits have been talking to me in a very direct way. And so that's just to continue that energy of allowing the spirits to literally talk to me, okay, in a very deep, deep way, and things of that nature. So that is what that crystal is going to be used for. The next crystal I want to showcase is, they have to do with attraction of love and money and abundance. And I'm going to be working with these crystals specifically for that. And they're very good for that. So jade. And you don't have to get big pieces of crystals, guys, to work with crystals, okay? And pyrite, which is fool's gold. great for attracting abundance. Okay, great for attracting abundance. So I'm going to be using these together, kind of dual action. This also can work for heart as well, healing financial issues. These 7 crystals together, plus the 8th crystal that I'm going to use for clear quartz, are going to work very well with what I just told you. They can work in all those different areas. I'm going to create a specific grid for myself. And that's the thing, right? Learning like what crystals you connect with. Okay. Understanding the individual energies, and no 2 crystals work the same. So sometimes crystals will work in you in a different way than somebody else, and call to you in a different way than somebody else, right? So what works for you might not work for somebody else. They all have their unique relationships, like deities. They're literally like that, you know? But the thing about crystals, right, is not just enough to connect with them when you're buying them and then knowing what different areas they could help you with in your life. It's also important to set them up properly in a grid, like I was talking previously. And if you're going to use them for the purposes of manifesting, it's important to set intention. So knowing what different areas these crystals specialize in, and then activating them, speaking them into existence. It's not just enough purchasing a crystal and then just working with them. You have to activate the energies. You have to wake up the spirits that are housed in these said crystals. Once you do that, then they will work for you. And I actually have specific rituals that I use to activate and wake up the spirits of the crystals. If you're interested in a video about activating the energies of crystals, let me know in the comment section below, and I will make a part 2 to this video and show you different ways that you can activate the spirits that are housed in your crystals. And so basically that is all I wanted to share in this video. Again, different ways you can activate the crystals. Again, if you're interested in a part 2 to this video, let me know, and I will greatly and gladly make a part 2 to this video. But I'm only going to make it if you guys, you know, leave me a beautiful yellow heart and, you know, say please make a part 2 or something like that. Lets me know you watched the whole video and that you are interested in a part 2. But basically, I can share with you different affirmations and meditations that I do when I'm activating crystals. So I do have actual rituals and things that I do to activate my crystals. If you're interested in actually watching me do a crystal ritual, and I want to actually see me create this crystal so you can get inspiration on how to create crystals and get into like crystal magic and stuff like that, be sure to join my memberships, and there will be videos on that subject coming up very soon. Much love, much light, much blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and until the next video. If you're interested in any one of my spiritual services, such as psychic readings, mentorship, or spell work, please go to my website, shamanic@wearpriestess.com, and I will gladly provide any spiritual service that I have available on my website. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Please like, please subscribe, please comment below, and hopefully you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you want a part 2. Bye, guys. Bye.